Good evening and welcome to Only Connect. And I've had a letter from a Ron Morgan in Newport. He writes, "Dear Victoria, some of the teams seem to get the answers very quickly. Are you not concerned that they're from the future and have travelled back in time having already watched the show?" Well, no, Ron, because if they were from the future, they would all be wearing shiny metal suits. He concludes that shiny suit argument is rubbish. I knew you'd say it because I'm from the future and watched this show yesterday, then travelled back in time to post this letter. My wife said we should take the opportunity to meet Jesus or kill Hitler, but I put my foot down and said no, this was more important. Enjoy the show, though. It's a cracker. Yours, Ron Morgan. Well, thanks very much for that, Ron. And, of course, you'll know, but for form's sake, I'll explain, that tonight's teams are... On my right, Victoria Woods, a teacher who owns a pygmy goat named Elvis. Jeremy Woods, a keen farmer who has shared a limo with Melinda Messenger. And their captain, James Fraser, a civil servant who was once responsible for giving the Archbishop of York a cold shower. All devotees of sacred music, they are the Polyhymnians. So, James, this is the last heat of the series, and in a year notable for people spending a lot of time with their close families and not much time with anyone else, I think we have had a married couple in every game but one. You've also brought a married couple. How do you know them?
I've brought my sister Victoria and her husband Jeremy. So she was a Fraser and she's now a Woods.
How did you get to be the captain?
I think somebody needed to keep them apart.
Well, I look forward to finding out why. You will be facing tonight, on my left, Susie Thomas, a combined sciences graduate who once got stuck on a runaway tractor. John Caddick, a retired IT worker who has hosted a disco on the Severn Valley Railway steam train to Bewdley. And their captain, Martin Hoskins, a retired IT professional who has seen every one of Scarlett Johansson's 52 films. All seaside dwellers, they are the sandy shores. Welcome to Only Connect. What is it that you enjoy about quizzes?
Well, I guess being tested in our various areas of expertise, whatever they may be. Generally better on the arts, films, music, TV.
Everything.
John's good at horse racing and spaghetti westerns. That's your specialist area.
Sounds like John's got a nice life. Well, good luck. Polyhymnians, you won the toss, so you'll be going first. Please choose an Egyptian hieroglyph.
The twisted flax, please.
The twisted flax will be the first question of the game. You'll be seeing some picture clues. What connects them? Here's the first.
It's Mr. Big from Sex and the City.
Next.
That's the Spoon Sky. Keep going.
Next.
Sarah Phillips is dad.
Sarah Phillips. Peter Phillips.
No, that's her brother. Captain Mark.
Captain Mark Phillips. Next. Philadelphia. They're Tom Hanks movies, yes?
Big.
Yes.
Big, yeah.
These are all Tom Hanks movies.
They all relate to films starring Tom Hanks. What are those films?
Philadelphia is the last one. Big is the first one.
And what are we looking at in the picture?
City. Mr. Big, I believe he was known as. We've got Captain Phillips in the third one. Captain Mark Phillips in the picture.
That's right, Captain Mark Phillips.
And that thing on Sky with James Corden, but I can't remember its name, but it's the same as a Tom Hanks movie.
A League of Their Own is
That's
the
the
TV
one.
show. All hinting at Tom Hanks films. Well done. Sandy Shores, what would you like?
The lion, please.
Lion. OK, what is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Oh, they've got the World Cup next.
Yeah, next, please. Next, please. Is it a football thing? Is it?
You've got 8
No
seconds.
idea. Yeah, go for the next one.
Oh, next, please.
2 seconds.
I'm buzzing in, but I'm not sure why.
Would you like to have a guess?
Is it divisions within the country and how many neighbours they have?
It is not. Polyhymnians, do you want to have a go for a bonus point?
Are these the number of land borders internal to the country?
Not it either. I really have no idea why anyone would get this question. If you got this question at home, you better come along and be on the next series. These are the dimensions of these countries' respective flags. So the Swiss flag is a square. The German flag, 3 to 5, Ireland 1 to 2, and apparently the flag for the Côte d'Ivoire is very similar, but in fact that's got a ratio of 2 to 3, so there's no excuse for confusing them, is there? And 11 to 28 are the weird dimensions of the flag for Qatar. So no points there. You think you wasted all that time revising what the flags look like? Never mind the designs, what are the dimensions? What's the ratio? It's all right, you'll never be asked that again by anyone. So no bonus point for you Polyhymnians, but you may choose a question. What would you like?
2 reads, please.
2 reads. OK. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next.
Are they in sharks, right?
Yeah. Okay, next.
Okay. Next.
Is it this, the logo?
Turtle roadster. They're in series. 1, 2.
Pepperoni. Marco.
Spider.
Next. Do you know what
Sent in space.
We believe all these things have been sent into space.
They have all been sent into space. You recognise the last clue. Who's Gene Roddenberry?
The creator of Star Trek.
That's right, and he wanted his ashes sent into space. The Tesla Roadster, that's the car that's been put up there. Have you heard about Gladys and Esmeralda?
I hadn't heard about them.
It was the last flight of Endeavour. It took 2 golden orb spiders and a fruit fly colony to be their food.
Lovely.
That sounds like the first scene of a disaster movie, doesn't it? You're on there with the 2 spiders and the flies and something goes horribly wrong. And first one, Pizza Hut became the first company to deliver a pizza to space. So they paid something like $1 million, possibly more, to send a pizza to the International Space Station. The Russian cosmonaut Yuri Uzachov was there and put the pizza in the oven. Prince Andrew thought it was odd to have a pizza in Woking, didn't he? But they had it. It was a salami pizza. This is the clue, because it has a longer shelf life than pepperoni. So very well done. You get that one. And Sandy Shores, it's back to you.
We'll have Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. It's the music question. What connects the clues you're going to be hearing? Here's the first.
Please remember me happily by the rose bush laughing with
Next, please.
what an exit, that's how to go when they're reading your
Thoughts.
That's a What a Circus from the
Yeah. Okay. Next, please.
I don't know, but Kitty, what's that circus one?
Next, please.
She jacked me.
2 seconds.
This is the clothes.
Yeah. Are they all circus related?
They are all circus related. What did we hear?
The second one was Oh, What a Circus by
From
David
Evita.
Essex.
Yeah.
The last one, Tears for a Clown, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles.
Maybe The Greatest Showman?
Yeah.
Yes, The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman, performed there by Panic at the Disco. Clue 1, The Trapeze Swinger by Iron and Wine.
Okay.
Absolutely right. Polyhymnians, what would you like?
The water question, please.
The water question. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Seals for capture. Should we take the next?
Yes.
Next. Okay. Next. C-E-T. Tears for tantalise. Take the next one. Do you recognise any of these?
Nope.
Next. It's for utilise. So. Tantalise, capture, effortlessness. Do you see anything?
Can't see anything.
Use, utilise, language, initiatives.
3 seconds.
We think these are the buttons you press on a spaceship in a comedy series.
That is an absolutely lovely wrong answer. Sandy Shores, do you know?
I don't know. Do you put the letter E in it to change it?
I'm afraid that's not it. You just pluralise that capital letter to get a homophone. C's, capture. E's, effortlessness. T's, tantalise. U's, utilise. You just pluralise that first capital letter to make the subsequent word. But you may have the last question of the round, the horned viper. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
It's meant for butterflies.
Yes. Do you want to go for it?
No, let's have another one.
Next, please.
Brown orchid, they're definitely butterflies.
Okay,
Brown orchids.
go for it.
Purple ochre.
We think these are butterflies, and the colour is the colour in the name of the butterfly.
Susie, you could have come in after one clue there for the full
We thought about
5.
it.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been penguins, though, couldn't it? That's a problem.
Purple pen.
But if it was penguins, why would it be purple?
Well, there's strange colours down there in the Antarctic.
Well, that is true. You can't be too careful. Very well done, just at the end of the round there. That means the scores at the end of round 1 are Polyhymnians 2, Sandy Shores 4. And on we go to the sequences round, round 2, where the teams may see a maximum of 3 clues before telling me what comes fourth. Polyhymnians, you'll be going first again. Please choose a hieroglyph.
2 reeds.
2 reeds. OK, what would you expect to come fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Looks vaguely familiar, and then it's going to be part of a word, like cirrus possibly.
No rumbus.
Go on next.
Next,
Rush. It's rush.
no, they're the ends of words. Cirrus,
Cirrus,
Merlin.
Go on next.
Next, Cincinnati.
Berlin.
C-I.
Berlin.
Aarhus.
Aarhus, Berlin.
Cincinnati.
Starting with D.
D-O. Something begins with D-O.
Go.
Ver.
Would be exactly right. Well, exactly right would be Ncaster, which is what we've got on ours. But why?
These are towns alphabetically by their first initial and their following vowels. So Aarhus, which is AA missing, Berlin, which is BE missing, Cincinnati, which has CI missing, and any town beginning with D and a missing O, such as Dover.
That's right. The first letter of each one is going sequentially through the alphabet, so they begin A, B, C, D, and the second letter is the vowel, so A, E, I, O. So anything beginning D-O, for example, Dover, Doha, or, as we thought, Doncaster. Well done. Sandy Shores, what would you like?
Twisted flax, please.
The twisted facts. What would come fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please.
New World Order.
Something old, something new, something blue. Danube.
Yes.
Danube.
Yes.
Danube.
Okay,
Yeah.
you've got lots of time to think about it.
Yeah.
It's Danube. Throw in
Old
Danube.
Faithful.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel.
Danube,
Is an acceptable answer. We had moon. And why?
would you like to explain?
It's things that they wear at a wedding. Not that I know anything about that. I couldn't find anybody desperate enough. But it's something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
That's exactly right. So you can say Old Faithful, New World Order. We then had borrowed time, so something that could come after blue. For example, Danube or moon. Did you have those things, Victoria, when you got married to Jeremy? You had those things?
I think I did, actually. You just might not have known about it.
We got married in November, so the something blue was the guests. But it's a nice old tradition. Polyhymnians, what would you like?
The lion question, please.
Lion. What would come fourth in this picture sequence? Here's the first.
Franz Kafka. Who is that? What's the main character in
No idea.
Next.
Choose a special one.
3, 1, 3.
Then next.
Next.
Who's that?
That's Josh Butler. Special Butler.
Josie.
Mourinho, Chelsea.
Butler.
Chelsea.
Something
Josie.
special.
Josh. It's a word one. It's the name's going off. So it's Jose and then Josh. So it's J-O. Something with J-O. Joe.
J-U.
No, J-O.
Joe Malone.
J. Just J-O.
3 seconds.
Something Joe. J-O.
Joe Malone.
Would be an acceptable answer. We've got the lovely Joe Brand. And why?
Jose, it's Josh Butler. You're taking letters off, and then you end up with just J-O.
We're starting with Joseph K from the trial. You take off the F and get Jose or Jose Mourinho. Another letter off for Joss Butler, the cricketer, and we had lovely Joe Brand at the end. I wasn't a particularly small child. At the school nativity, I was always picked to play Bethlehem. It's Joe Brand, Joe. My favourite one, I do all the driving in our house because my husband never learned to drive, in my opinion. Brilliant, Joe Brand. Or Joe Malone, the perfume lady, would also have done. Sandy Shores, what would you like?
I think we'll go Eye of Horus.
The
please.
Eye of Horus. OK, what will come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Okay. It's in... OK, next, please. Kramer's the fourth character in Seinfeld. It must be a Seinfeld thing.
It's Hughes, Seinfeld.
It's Hughes.
S.
Next, please.
E. Hughes.
Second and third.
Yeah, actually.
What do you got? Is it a letter thing?
I thought it might be the fourth, the first F-I-R-S-T. So you're looking for...
Oh.
That doesn't work, does it? T. Kramer.
3
Third and
seconds.
second is
We're going to
C.
press a button.
First and fourth is R. No, we don't
what do
know.
you do?
Not it, I'm afraid. Polyhymnians, do you want to go for a bonus point?
It's going to be first in fourth,
Got to begin with M.
and it's going to be something like March.
Not it either. Fourth in first, Kramer. We're talking about Susan Kramer of the Liberal Democrats. Third in second, Simon Hughes of the Liberal Democrats. Second in third, Ken Livingstone representing Labour, because Ken Livingstone came second in the third London mayoral election. First in fourth,
Johnson.
Boris Johnson came first in the fourth London mayoral election for the Conservatives. So no points there, but Polyhymnians, you may have the last choice of the round.
The Horned Viper, please.
OK, what would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Just George.
Next.
Ladies and gentlemen, is it George Michael?
No, it's it could be. Go next again.
Next.
Just ladies.
Oh, gorgeous ladies of... Where?
I don't know.
I'm going to say Goodwood if there's anything else. Westcott.
No. Could be Ascot.
Goodwood.
Lovely, but no. Sandy Shores, do you know?
No, we got nothing, I'm afraid.
No. It's wrestling. This relates to the Netflix show Glow, which is a fictionalised version of women's professional wrestling.
I've never seen it, but now I'm going to look it up.
It sounds good, doesn't it? Yes, Glow. Horses sweat, men perspire, ladies merely wrestle. That's that show, Glow. Sandy Shores, one question remains, is the water question. That is for you. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please.
New South Wales.
Yeah.
South Australia, New South Wales.
OK.
Which way round are we going?
Next, please. Victoria. South Australia, New South Wales. Victoria. Queensland, isn't it?
What's they saying?
South Australia.
Oh, right. South Australia.
Victoria.
Victoria. It's got to be...
Queensland or where's Sydney?
I'd go for Queensland. Go for it.
Or what's the letters for it?
I've got the letters for Queensland.
I don't know. Q, U, E?
Not the answer, I'm afraid. Polyhymnians, do you know?
Tasmania. Northern Territory.
NT.
Not it either. Why do you say that?
These look like Australian states going anti-clockwise from southern Australia around
They're not
the
going in a
coast.
direction. They are getting smaller.
So it's Tasmania.
South Australia, New South Wales, Victoria getting smaller. We want
Western Australia.
Tasmania, T-A-S. So you're all in the right area, literally, but the wrong place. Can you name me any famous Tasmanians?
The Tasmanian Devil from the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yes, very good, very good. I was thinking of Errol Flynn, but that's a very good one. Here's a fact about Tasmanian devils. They have a notoriously cantankerous disposition, I read, and will fly into maniacal rage when threatened by a predator or defending a meal. Early European settlers dubbed it a devil after witnessing such displays, which included teeth-baring, lunging, and an array of spine-chilling guttural growls. I'm like that around food. Do you know what I mean? When somebody's trying to take the food away, you can see why they would do that. That means at the end of round 2, the Polyhymnians have 6 points, the Sandy Shores have 7. Time now for the connecting wall. And Sandy Shores, it'll be your turn to go first now. So please choose lion or water.
We'll have water, please.
OK, you have 2.5 minutes to solve the water wall, starting now.
DJs.
These are all drug-related. Mary Jane, grass. Maybe not blunt. Maybe it is.
Pot.
Pot. Grass, dope. I think you can have a toot. No.
Blunt.
You've also
These
got...
are pots, aren't they?
Yeah,
Pot,
pot.
ramekin, and a tureen.
And a,
OK, I'm going to take out
and a
tureen.
rock as well.
I'm going to take out pot. I should have done that. Take out marmite. Any others? Did I take out walk? Bark. Grass. Porringer. Whispering Bob Harris. Whispering grass. Whispering gallery. Any more whispers?
Yes, Whispering Campaign.
Thank you. I've got to try this drug one, I think.
Have we got... Oh, you've got rid of grass.
Pot, dope, Mary Jane. I think it's blunt. Yes. OK, there's 2.
3 lives
What
now.
else we got?
3 lives.
Cooking things. Ramekin, marmite, wok, tureen.
Which would leave us with...
Bark.
A marmite is... Oh, yeah, you said that,
What?
didn't you? That's a cookie.
Yes. What's a porringer, I wonder?
Bark, toot.
Worthing, tooting, barking, woking.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Should we go for it?
Brilliant.
Gotta
Well
try
done,
it.
Mark. Go on.
You've solved the wall. Very well done. Brilliant stuff. What about the connections, though? Grass Gallery Campaign, Bob Harris.
Can be preceded with whispering.
They can be preceded by whispering. And what about the next group? Dope, Mary Jane, Blunt, Pot.
Well, I believe there's something to do with cannabis, but I wouldn't normally know.
You went straight for that group, I saw. You were just right on that. And what about the next group? Bark, Toot, Worth, Wok.
You can add ing at the end to make a place in England.
Add that to make a place. And the next group, Ramekin, Porringer, Terrine and so on.
Well, I think they're all things you could cook food in.
They are all cooking pots. So you found all 4 groups, you gave me all 4 connections, and you get the maximum of 10 points. Let's bring in the Polyhymnians now, give them the other connecting wall, the lion wall, and see how they get on. You've got 2.5 minutes to solve your wall, starting now.
Claymore, cutlass, ray,
Types of
Scimitar.
sword. Claymore is a sword.
Scimitar.
scimitar.
Yeah.
Not those.
Keep
There's another
going.
one
Keep
in
the
there.
bin
Claymore,
there.
rapier,
Rapier.
cutlass, and...
It's probably a
others you see there.
shashka. It'll be something weird like that.
OK.
But don't worry. There's also types of potatoes. Right,
What's
see.
the
Types of
claymore
potato.
then?
I don't-
40s,
Rooster.
Go
Piper,
potato.
Brent, these are oil fields.
Yeah.
Is there another one in there? King Edward, Hawk, Anya,
Don't know. Why don't you do the potatoes?
the Piper.
James, go
Piper,
potatoes.
King Edward, Rooster, probably Claymore or
Claymore
Bloomer.
potato? Or
No.
Blue's bread.
Is it Orc potato?
No, they're not potatoes.
OK. Anya is going to be a word one. Orc is probably going to be a word one. Auckland.
Halfway through, James.
OK, not quite halfway yet. Bedford, Bideford, Towns, Hereford,
Yes, Bradford.
Brentford. Got
Yes, well done.
3 lives now.
40s, Piper,
Are they just
Claymore.
names for food? So Bloomer bread and King Edward potato.
I think we tried those. Piper, King Edward.
But it's Maris Piper.
That's one used of those
Yes.
3.
Roaring 40s. Roaring
OK,
Clay.
Billy Piper. Somebody Claymore? Anybody whose name is
Timothy.
Claymore?
Oh, no, that's Claypole, isn't it?
Yes, went to guess.
Red Rooster.
Red, King Edward. Potato, King Edward.
You've got 30 seconds.
You have to go a bit
30
random now,
go.
I'm afraid, James.
OK, so we're going to try. We probably Orc with Anya with Claymore and
I'm going to use the nice quick.
40s.
Go, you know, get time.
One more life. That's not it, and the wall has frozen. But you found 2 groups. What about the connections? Rapier, shashka, cutlass, scimitar.
Those are edged weapons, swords, I believe.
They are all swords. And the next group, Bed, Brent, Here, Bide.
Those are towns when you add Ford to them.
You can add Ford to make a place, and of course not Here and Bide, it's Hereford, Bideford. And you can still get points for the connections in the groups you didn't find, so let's resolve the wall. There we go. Claymore, 40s, Ork and Piper.
I'm going for oil fields.
Oil fields.
North Sea oil fields.
Those are the oil fields, yes. Claymore, you didn't know. And the next group, Rooster, Anya, Bloomer, King Edward.
My farming colleagues tell me those are potatoes.
Those are the potatoes. Are you potato farmers?
No.
What do you farm?
We have some sheep and some goats and some chickens.
Well, why would you know about potatoes? That is absolutely forgivable. Anyway, you found the connection. You just couldn't quite put the right potatoes in there. So 2 points for the groups and 4 for the connections, a total of 6. Let's have a look at the overall scores. The Polyhymnians have 12 points. The Sandy Shores have 17. And if you'd like to take part in Only Connect, then why not go along to the website bbc.co.uk/onlyconnect to find out how to apply. Even if there's only 1 or 2 of you at this stage, you can still get in touch. Round 4 now, where points can be won and lost, so buzz with care. Fingers on buzzers. I can tell you that the first group of disguised clues all snap. Polyhymnians.
Branches.
Correct. Polyhymnians.
Achilles tendons.
That's correct. Sandy Shores.
Short-tempered people.
Correct. Shores.
Cameras.
Yes, they do. Next category, they crackle. Polyhymnians.
Bonfires.
Correct. Polyhymnians.
Reeds.
Do you know what? I think reeds can crackle if they're dry. I'm going to give you the point. I was expecting radios, but I'll take reeds. Next clue. Polyhymnians.
Pork rind.
Correct. Hymnians.
Crisp packets.
Correct. Next category, they pop. Polyhymnians.
Cans of Pringles.
Yes, indeed. Sandy Shores.
Balloons.
Yes. Polyhymnians.
Bubble wrap.
Oh, I could do it all day. Polyhymnians.
Champagne corks.
Oh, I could do it all day. Next category, cereal mascots. Too late to answer because the bell has gone for the end of the quiz. That one would have been Tony the Tiger. But looking at the final scores, I can tell you that the winners and through to the next round with 21 points are the Polyhymnians. Very well done. Sandy Shores, you finished with 20. Very close. That was very good, close quizzing. And, of course, I'm delighted to say you're not out. You will get another chance to win through to the next round later in the series. And there's a treat coming up later on BBC Two. Following the success of Paul Whitehouse and Bob Mortimer's Gone Fishing, a new fishing series sees a much-loved former cabinet minister take up the ancient sport of angling. That's Michael Portillo Gets His Tackle Out on BBC Two.